guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Connector. I am so excited to be here with Marissa Sachs, who I had been asked actually to be on her podcast, and we haven't even recorded that episode yet. But it's really fun because I was like, yes, I'm just like all about meeting people. And the person that Brian Howie, who owns Pod Populi, he was just like, you need to talk to Marissa. Like, you guys need to connect. And I was like, I trust you. Like, let's do it. So I don't even know anything else other than like that until I got into the studio. And then I found out a lot more information. And I find out that you were actually a co-host on Millionaire Matchmaker. Correct?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. And so then I was like, wait, stop, shut the front door. First off, hi, Marissa.
Hi.
Yeah. So I was like, shut the front door. This is insane because I actually went on a date with one of the guys from Millionaire Matchmaker.
No way.
And again, this is like probably 10 plus years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Like 12, 13, 15.
But on the show or off of the show?
Off the show.
Oh, off the show. Okay.
He was on the show. And then like a year or two later, we ended up going on a date, and we just met at a like Shabbat dinner, which is really funny.
Yeah.
And
how did it go?
it was good. We went on a nice date. It was nice and good. And we actually went to the Boca Hotel, had dinner there. Very much a gentleman. Mm-hmm. We talked about his experience.
At the Boca Beach Resort?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's where I'm staying. Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
That's a very nice first date.
It was, yeah. I mean, I would, he was on the show. I mean, there's probably a standard.
Just because they're on the show doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a very nice first date. And he planned it.
He did. Yeah. He picked me up and everything. The only reason I even let him pick me up and my parents were okay with it, was because they kind of know his parents in the community. He's known here. So they're like, okay, he's not going to be like a crazy person.
So your parents knew all about the date before you were going?
Oh yeah. And there's 15 years difference between him and I.
Okay, great.
And I was like,
that's not that. I mean, it sounds like a big gap, but
I was 19. He was 34.
Oh, you were 19. Okay. So it's a very big gap when you're young like that. And 19, that's a huge gap.
Yeah.
But when you're get to 30s, 40s, 15 years.
Then it's doesn't make a difference. Yeah. But when we were, I was just I can't believe my parents let me do that. But.
Right. When you said your parents, I was like, wait a minute, we're about to dive into this. Do you check with your parents on every date? But you were 19. So that makes sense. Yeah.
It was and then we had a nice date. It just didn't go anywhere else other than that.
Yeah.
Then we found each other or whatever, a year later, I think, again. And then we went on another date a year later. How funny is that?
Wow.
Right?
That is wild. We tried Millionaire Matchmaker.
We tried it again and no.
Just didn't work.
It still didn't stick, but it was nice. It was a nice guy. But anyways, okay, that's my Millionaire Matchmaker. That's my connection.
Nice.
So I want to hear more about you because this is why you're here today. Or to talk about to get into things.
Yeah. So let's talk. Brian, how he told me a little bit about you too. I also found out more info when I got in. He was like, she's a connector. She helps with awkward silences for love connection. So that was super interesting.
And I love how you have a podcast, by the way, called Get Some.
Yeah.
Which is so good.
Yeah. You like that name?
Yes. It can go so many different areas.
Exactly.
And it's how dirty is your mind, right?
Right. Yeah. It's funny because somebody else I had on, she was like, are we talking about get some sex? And I was like, well, you are, because that's where your mind went. It's kind of just it's a play on it, right? Because it could be anything.
Yeah.
Get some business, get some friends, get some advice, get some money, get some sex. I don't know. Get some dates. I don't know. It could be literally anything. The world is your oyster.
It truly is.
Yeah. I didn't want to keep it to one thing. So I felt like that was a great title to go with.
Yeah. So you have a lot of knowledge in the dating realm, obviously. Which,
I do. Yes.
So you've decided to create an app.
Yes. So I created a dating app where it connects people on their commonalities more so than just oh, you're hot. I'm hot. Let's go out because we both are attracted to each other.
So we're done with Tinder.
Well, the thing is sometimes the people don't even look like their pictures, or there's a lot of catfishing. And I mean, even if they do look like their picture, maybe they don't a little bit, or maybe it's 10 years old, or they've gained some weight or whatever it is. So my application, Caviar Lifestyles, it helps you connect on similar mindedness. So for example, what are you interested in, activity wise outside for extracurricular?
I've been golfing a little bit.
Okay.
I'm like, that's my newest endeavor.
Okay. So are you single?
Yes.
Right now? So say you want to find a partner and you really want them to know how to golf, because maybe that's something you guys can do together. So you could post the activity. I'm going golfing at the Boca Beach Club. Very nice place to golf.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
And you can say you're going on this day at this time. And then if somebody sees it and they're interested, like, oh my God, I love to golf and I would love to find a partner that golfs, they would swipe right. And then you guys are automatically connected and you can instantly talk and the date is already planned.
Ooh.
So you're not going to go back and forth like, what should we do? Or waiting for him to ask you out or whatever it might be.
Yeah, no, because like one of my biggest things is like, I just want to like go to the thing. Like when I'm like matched with somebody or we're talking and we know we're going to go on a date.
And
like,
it's like all this dragging out.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, how was your weekend? I'm like, oh my God. Ask me again how my weekend. Like I remember I literally have said back to somebody, no offense, but I don't give a shit how your weekend was. Why are you asking me? Like you don't know me. Like,
it doesn't matter.
Cut the small talk. We're both here.
Yeah.
We're looking for something. Yeah. Time is of the essence. Let's do this. Like ask me out or like don't.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of girls won't ask the guy, which is totally okay because I'm like very traditional. I don't know how you are. Traditional?
No, I've actually like pushed it because I'm just like.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But there are some girls who wouldn't like have the guts to do that. Or maybe they just don't want it to come off as that. So they wait. And then if the guy's like, you know, beating around the bush and then it doesn't happen and then you get 20 more matches and then he goes to the bottom. You're like, oh wait, what's his name again? I don't even remember. And then you're like, screw it, I'll just start over. Or you lose each other. That's why this is instant gratification. It's already set.
I love this.
Yeah. It's like I created it because I want to use it.
So are you single?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying when I created it, I wanted to use it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what happened is that I started like, I wanted to go out like last second. You know how like when we're out and we get our hair done or something, we're like, oh my God, my hair looks great right now. I should be going out and doing something. Yeah. And like the app is going to be started. It's going to launch as a dating application because of my background with Millionaire Matchmaker and dating and love advice. But it will eventually be for like friends. Like if I move down to Florida and I don't know anybody and I'm looking for girlfriends, I would post, hey, I want to go to happy hour and meet some girls.
Yeah.
Like I need to have some girlfriends down here.
Yeah.
And then we can swipe on that and you meet girls, or you could do it for like business reasons. Say you want to meet some more people for your podcast. But we're going to
love that.
Yeah. So it could,
good.
I mean, it could be literally whatever you want to make it, but starting off, keep it nice and clean and easy, 2+2. So people understand dating. Right.
Yep.
So, or if you like want to find out about more stuff, like I would love to take cooking lessons and like get more into that. So I kind of want to like meet people who are like chefs.
Yeah. Who
are into that. So I could, you know, you become your environment.
Yep. Community.
Right.
I was just talking about that as like, you are who your community is, like, right? Like it influences you so much.
Right.
So you have to pick who you want to be around. Like, do you want to be around people that are going to like elevate you and move you to the next level? Or are you okay with a community that's just like going to, you know, kick the shit every day? Like that's just like what you're going to do. Or do you want somebody? So whatever it is. And that's why people go to like religious places, because of community. I
was actually just going to bring up the Shabbat thing that you were talking to me about. Like maybe you want to find somebody who does Shabbat dinners around here. Like when I was living in LA, there was this group of us and there were always Shabbat dinners and it was so nice. Just a huge group of friends. They'd always have a Shabbat dinner. And it wasn't like super religious. It was more about like the connection and like the family vibe, and everybody got together, had great food and wine and hung out and like said some prayers. And it was just so nice to have.
It's community and like a feeling of belonging and just like that, that love in the room. You feel it.
I would love to get back involved and do Shabbat dinners again. I miss it. Yeah. And it's also a good excuse to like try out new recipes.
It truly is.
Yeah. So fun.
And like to do it as like a group of friends and everything.
Yeah. Do you have a big group of friends out here that you do Shabbat with, or that like community wise?
Yeah. Like I have some friends, I have some family, but I do, that's something that's I used to, growing up, we did it every week. It was like a mandatory, like hard, like you have to do it. Like
your family.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Not that we were Orthodox or anything, but
I
it
was
was our one.
just going to ask you that.
Yeah. It was the one thing my mom felt like one night a week that we would be able to like as a family just have like a sit down dinner and like be together.
I love that.
And
she's so right.
She never wavered on it. Like there was so many things on Friday nights, like friends' birthdays or whatever. And she'd be like, no, sorry, we can't go. Like we have Shabbat dinner. And I was like, it was kind of hard growing up. Like,
but did you keep kosher or anything or?
So I yes. Yeah, we did like kosher meat, like, but that's about it. Like it was like loosely kosher, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then, as I got older, like my mom was like, okay, I can't, like you're growing out of the years that I can actually like influence you much or whatever. Like, so like by 14 or so, 15, she was just like, okay, even honestly, like, well, 18 or whatever. Like she's like, okay, you're on your own. You do decide what you want to do.
Do what you want.
So I didn't really do Shabbat that much anymore at that point. And now, I've more recently in the past like 2 years got more back into it. And I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
I love it. It's so nice.
Yeah.
And like you said, you get to like get with a bunch of friends that you just want to be with and like relax and kick it back. And like
it's just an excuse to have really good food and hang out and have wine and have fun. Yeah. It's just like an event every Friday.
Yeah. And it's so much more like lifting and like soul fulfilling, like because you get into these like deep conversations with your friends.
Right.
And it's a time for like those to happen. Yes, it's nice to go out clubbing or whatever it is. But like if you're doing that every Friday, you're not really like
clubbing.
Connecting.
Yuck, not into it.
No. Yeah. And it's like, and then you're not connecting on a deeper level and diving into those like really juicy conversations.
Well, I feel like you would love caviar lifestyles.
Yes.
Yeah, this would be perfect. You'd look for your man to help you golf and do all that and then find your Jewish community.
Yep. It's a good, it sounds like exactly. Yeah. Because I'm done with like the Tinder thing. I can't do Bumble. I'm over it. I'm just like.
You're exhausted.
Like it's not so much fun.
Well, the thing is this has like foundation, right? Because like you can't, I mean, sure. You can find anybody anywhere, but like it doesn't matter how you meet as long as you meet. But this gives you like it's a setup for future stuff if you have commonalities. Because if you don't have anything in common, you know, it's like say somebody's vegan, right? Like one of our producers I was talking to, he's vegan and he's like, I only want to date somebody who's vegan. So that's a big filter to like filter through.
Very big filter.
Right. And that's okay. But at least like this way he could start with finding people who are vegans instead of like, okay, she's cute. Is she vegan or does she eat like red meat every day?
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like, it's an instant gratification.
It's so funny though that people think that that's like such a criteria that they need because like I have a friend who she's vegan or vegetarian. And her husband is like literally like only eats 5 foods. That's it. Like,
really? And it's like meat, waffles, pancakes, more meat.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly it. But yet they have this great marriage. They figured it out how to like work around it. Yes. I mean, in the beginning it was kind of annoying because she's like, I have to cook him his thing. I have to do my thing.
Yeah.
But now she's like figured out the routine and it's all good.
If you're in love with somebody, you figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny how like people feel like they have to put that like label or that like, oh my gosh, this is a deal breaker for me, which I'm sure you've seen every deal breaker and the like.
Oh my God, people want like robots. I'm like, okay, you just like need to go build this person because it doesn't exist. Like the checklist is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of times people say that they want something and then they meet a person in real life and they're like, oh, wait, I said I would never date somebody with kids, but I'm going to make an exception. Or I said I'd never date somebody who was bald, but I'm going to make an exception or whatever it is. Or height. Girls are crazy on height.
They're insane.
Oh my God. So nuts.
I mean, I dated a guy that was shorter than me for 6 years.
Really?
And and then we did 4 years long distance. And yeah, it just was like, it was fine.
But on paper, you'd probably be like, no. Right.
Well, no. Yeah. I was like, no. But like when we met each other, I was just like, it was good. And it was fine. And it was nice. And yeah.
You just have to meet in person. You have to get off of the apps. That's like the whole point of Caviar is to get off of the app like instantly.
So, okay, name. Just you got to talk about how you came up with this name because it's a fun, like elegant, regal, like I love it. Like juicy name. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So Caviar, it just... definitely millionaire matchmaker, vibe, right? Guilty by association, whether I like it or not. So high class luxury. So that's Caviar. It's a lifestyle application. So it's all about lifestyle and like finding somebody who wants the same type of lifestyle as you. And we were actually filming a pilot. We were doing like a mini series in LA. And there was this one episode where it was a docudrama, like where people would reenact like how the app was built and how it was made, the fundraising. We're actually still doing it. So it is in the works. But there was this one episode where she was like, the main matchmaker was like, I want caviar. I want caviar. I want caviar. And then like people were walking by and like the windows were open and they're like, God, shut up, you rich bitch. Like, what is wrong with you? And then like the phone operator guy was like this amazing, fun, gay guy who was like, and I mean, God, I don't even know what you can say anymore. Like, yes, gay, but like totally, I'm accepting of that. It's fine. It's great. Lots of gay best friends. So he was answering the phone and he was like, hello. Like every time he'd answer the phone, it'd be like a really fun new name because he was just like bored at work. And he's like, hello, welcome to Caviar Lifestyles. Hello, baby fish eggs. How may I help you? Like just playful, and like everybody, the whole crew just loved that name so much. We just decided to stick with it.
I think it's brilliant.
Thanks.
I love it. I think it's elevating. I can't even talk today. Elevating and just engaging and like interesting. And it's like, who doesn't want to be elevated, right? Like,
right.
Who doesn't want to have that like, ooh, next level of like she.
Right. Yeah. And it gives you like, I mean, I don't want it to sound like over the top pretentious or anything, because that's not what it's about, and that's not what I'm about. I'm more about like inclusive yet exclusive, so people feel that like members club, but it's still like inclusive and inviting, and everybody's nice and kind to each other.
Yeah. No, I love how you're creating this whole community and like connecting people. Thanks. And it is just amazing. And I love how you're thinking outside the box. You're like, okay, how can I like take this whole thing to the next level? Because it's obviously working for people. Like it's online dating is a real thing.
Yes.
And
it's very real.
Is that how you're in a relationship?
Yeah. So, I mean, the online dating stuff, been doing all that stuff it gets exhausting. You're exhausted too, I'm sure. You said no more Tinder, no more Bumble.
No, I'm done. I'm trying to like just meet people naturally at this point, or just really honestly do my own thing.
It doesn't even matter how you meet as long as you meet. Yeah.
Anywho. Okay. I loved having you on today. I know we got to wrap this up, but
yeah, I know this was like a last second thing, but I'm so glad we made it work.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. So where can people stay connected with you and find more of you and get to know all about you?
You can find me on Instagram. That's probably where I'm most active, at Marissa Sachs, MARISA SAKS. And then that's my main handle. I also have a Caviar Lifestyles handle. That's just at Caviar Lifestyles. And then my podcast is on Apple or Spotify called Get Some with Marissa Sachs. And we talk all about female entrepreneurship, love, dating, relationships. And then you can download Caviar Lifestyles now on Google or Apple, but we are beta testing. So if it's not in your area and you're kind of like, why isn't there anyone around me? We're waiting. We're doing a fundraising round. Once we close that out, then we are going to be piloting in city to city, starting with LA.
Oh my gosh. This is so exciting. All right. So everybody has to stay tuned, get connected with her. And I look forward to seeing you all next week with a whole new episode. But before I go, if you want to connect more with me, find me on Instagram at ariel.levitt or email me at arieltheconnector@gmail.com. See you all next week.